With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. This, my friends, episode number 63.
Yes, 63. I just before I woke up, of course, you usually remember your dreams early in the morning going in when you're in and out of sleep. I had a dream about radio last night, and it took me all the way back to my college days, believe it or not. And I was wandering around the college radio station, we had a radio and TV building with the TV studios and all of that stuff. And I was right there. I was in the building that we had a very nice studio set up with an AM and an FM, and it had big glass windows where you could look in on the DJ, and all that. And I was standing there trying to look in at the studios. And I have no idea why I was there. It was just a little radio memory there. I don't know. Weirdness.
Whenever I have a radio dream.
Yes.
I have the same radio dream. Sometimes I am at stations that I've worked with in the past.
Right.
But the dream is always the same.
Ooh, tell us.
Doing everything humanly possible. Of course, for people who are not in radio, the biggest thing is, you do not want what they call dead air, nothing on the air.
Right.
No music, no talk.
Right.
I mean, when it's
the worst.
Dead silence. That is the number one no-no in the world of broadcasting.
Correct.
So my big dream, and I've had this a million times, I'll bet, in my radio career, but I can't get anything to go on the air. I'm pulling records. I'm pulling cartridges. I'm pulling CD. I'm doing everything humanly possible to get sound on the air, and I cannot get anything to play on the air.
Wow. I've had the news guy version of that dream a lot. I haven't had it lately because we're not working in radio yet. When was the last time you had that dream? Do you remember? Has it been years?
No,
now we're not on the radio.
It's probably like a few months ago. And the dream that I was at, because actually it's really funny. I was at WPCV, the last radio station that I actually worked at.
Right.
And I couldn't get anything on the air, and the PD, Bob, was calling me saying, "What's the matter up there? Get something on there. Am I going to have to fire you? Yeah." And I could not get anything. I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm finding this. I put it on. It don't work. It was just, but yeah, I have those. And I still to this day have those dreams.
I haven't had this one in a while, but I used to back when we were on the air and for a couple of years afterwards. I had the news guy version of that same dream where it was time for the news. I'd be sitting at the microphone, sitting at the board, the light would come on, and I would look down to read the news on a piece of paper, and it was blurry. I couldn't read a word of it. And I'm sitting there stumbling and fumbling, the news today, and it was like, oh my God, I could feel my heart going bam, 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 bam. Same thing as not getting something on the air, same thing, but wow, isn't that interesting? Wow.
Now,
okay.
One more interesting fact.
Uh-oh.
I've done stand-up comedy before.
Uh-huh. Oh, I hear this coming.
And I've gotten introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, B.J. Odom. And I walk up there and I can't remember any of my act. And I'm there, what?
Wait, that's happened to you in real life, hasn't
it? I've not forgotten everything, but I have one because, most comedians have like a set list.
Sure.
It's like this joke and this, this topic here, this joke list. I have got them mixed up before where I go, oh man, that's a good bit. I got to go back there. How am I going to get myself back there without just making a
Right,
complete blunder of
right,
how to
right.
get back there? You
That's
have to
funny.
maneuver yourself back.
That
But I've
is,
done that before on stage.
that's amazing. All right, everybody. We hope you're having good dreams on this Wednesday morning as we release this. Of course, as we record it, it's a Monday morning. And but yeah, there you go. Good intro. Thank you for joining us. Once again, thank you for joining us for the BJ and Bill podcast.
I wonder, like other people, that have other jobs, like lawyers. I wonder if it's like they go up on the stand and they can't remember, oh my gosh, what's my defense here? What's my closing arguments?
Probably. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Let us know on the Facebook page. Of course, if you haven't been there yet, join us on Facebook at BJ and Bill podcast. Just do a search for that. We get a lot of people talking there. Yeah, but that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, what if you were a doctor and it's like, you have a dream about forgetting how to do that, heart transplant or whatever, not to bring it too close to home there.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I can imagine the doctor dream. Here he is to do a heart transplant and they bring a kidney in.
Oh, wrong part. Yes. I ordered a pepperoni pizza and I got sausage and onions. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hear you. See, everybody's, I'm guessing, I don't know that, but that would be an interesting kind of little poll or a little survey or something, wouldn't it? I mean, when you have dreams, do they involve your job? And is it like, are you crushing it? Are you killing it with your job? Or is it like you're doing like BJ and Bill? Are you just not getting it done and things are going wrong left and right? That's interesting. That's interesting. I look forward to seeing the answers from people on our website. So there you go.
Yeah, we might have to go today. We record this on a Monday.
Yep.
So go back a few, post, and I'll try to remember I'll try to remember. I'm an old guy. I'll try to remember to post that question. Have you ever had any dreams about your jobs and what
going
happens?
wrong? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. All right, cool.
Oh, I do want to do a special shout out before we get going this morning.
Go ahead.
To Vernon Brown. I got a forward email because I guess, they didn't, it's BJ and Bill podcast at gmail.com, by the way, folks.
Yes.
But I had an email
podcast at Gmail.
But I got an email forwarded to me from Tom Drake.
Oh.
And it's really funny because it was like to us. Maybe it was like to us. Maybe it was BJ and Bill. Now I think about it, but I think they dropped Tom Drake in there too.
Okay.
And so he goes, I want to thank Tom Drake for promoting your podcast. I have been following Tom for the last few years, and I've started following you now for the last couple months, and I'm really enjoying the podcast.
Awesome. Good. Glad to hear it.
So one, thank you, Tom Drake, and the Cruise and Travel News podcast for giving us a promo. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Vernon Brown, for listening to the little promo.
Yes.
And trying out the BJ and Bill podcast. So thank you, Vernon.
Cross-pollination. We're doing just like the bumblebees. We are cross-pollinating all over the podcast playground. So that's awesome. Great. That's cool. That's awesome. So there, look at that. We're just now getting into what's going on. So what's news with BJ this weekend?
As you can see, I am wearing my Buccaneers hat once again.
Yes.
I got it out of the trash and said, hey, I might put it on. They won yesterday.
So Tampa Bay. So just because we usually kind of go through the football scores. Yesterday was the best of times and the worst of times, as the old novel says. 4 games decided by last second field goals. 4. Talk about exciting.
But that's what happened to the Bucs last week.
What Buck? Oh yeah, the Bucs last week. Yeah, exactly. So the good news for you Bucs fans, they had no problem with Tennessee, 20-6, the final there. On the other hand, my Jacksonville Jaguars, they had one of those nightmares that we just talked about. The nightmare where you try and get something on the radio and nothing, and Bill tries to read the news and it's a blank page. And Trevor Lawrence had the dream the night before where when he looks up, all he saw all he saw was San Francisco 49ers uniforms. That's all he saw. He didn't see any of his own guys. And the Jaguars got absolutely, positively hammered by San Francisco 34-3. It wasn't that close. That's the scary thing. It wasn't that close to look at. Jacksonville could do nothing right, unbelievably nothing right. And so I don't know. They're going to, well, whatever. Hopefully they pull it back together. Meanwhile, I am kind of happy. I'm definitely happy. I should have wore the shirt. I still own a Cleveland Browns t-shirt, and they beat they beat the team that had to be the best team in the league, Baltimore Ravens, on a last second field goal. So that was, it was just some crazy, crazy highlights yesterday. I think Arizona Cardinals, not that we care. I used to live in Arizona, but they beat Atlanta, I believe, on the last second. And Detroit beat the LA Chargers on what they are calling a walk-off field goal. I kind of like a little baseball reference there. So anyway, football was, but unfortunately, unfortunately for me, the games that were actually on TV were, I suffered through Jacksonville, and then I suffered through Dallas, and God, it was just, and I actually went to bed at halftime last night of the Jets game as well. So it's like, wow. And Monday Night Football tonight, what is that? Tonight is Denver and Buffalo. Is that going to be any better? I don't know. I'll find out. So anyway, that's my rant about football for the day.
Yep. But yeah, what's really funny, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to.
Go ahead.
She wants to kill me. She never hardly listens to the podcast anyway. My daughter, the gentleman that she is, the gentleman she's seeing, Bill would get along with him probably much better than I would, because he's an Ohio boy.
Oh, good.
And so she told me, "Oh, we're at the pool," because I know she goes over there on the weekends, and he likes to watch, the Cleveland Browns. That's his team.
Oh, good. I would like.
And so I go, "Oh, you're watching the Browns game?" And she goes, "No, we went to the pool. They were losing, and he just said, 'Let's go to the pool.'"
Oh.
And I said, "Well, is there a TV at the pool?" I said, "He should be turning this on, because if they can get a field goal here in about the next minute, they're going to win this game probably."
Oh.
And so I had to text her and say, "Well, you can tell him Browns win."
Now, if that, and I've done this, believe me, I've done where I'll be walking. I have, YouTube TV, which is delivered by internet. So as long as I have an internet connection, I have my YouTube. So I have been known to watch football games on my little phone sitting somewhere while something else is going on. So yeah, you could do that at the pool. Absolutely. Positively. So
yeah, we were at the neighbors last night playing cards. And they were probably getting annoyed with me because I kept going over to the Atlanta game, because I wanted, because they're in the same division with the Bucks.
Right.
So the Saints, they lost.
Yep.
Atlanta lost. So I was like really going, yeah. Because now they're actually kind of back in it, but we'll see how they do.
And again, they're playing. We're talking about the Bucks. They are in like what has got to be the worst division. This is the division with the Carolina Panthers at 1-8. Yeah, Atlanta. Now New Orleans typically, however, 5-5, so they're actually ahead of the Bucks and Atlanta. Bucks at 4-5, Atlanta 4-6, Carolina 1-8. So it's wide open, but they're not. They're going to get into the playoffs. It's going to be one and done again anyway, probably. But who knows? It's too early to tell. Too early to tell, BJ Odom.
But yeah, so I was kind of like watching the other games to see how they were going.
Cool.
So I was glad. Now, of course, they're going to play the 49ers, this coming week. Sunday.
Yeah.
So they'll be back. They'll be back down again. Hopefully the other teams will lose too.
Everybody loses. New Orleans loses. Yeah. So to change sports just a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot. I have one question for you about basketball. You've been telling me you're a hoops fan. You're an NBA fan. I have been just blown away. And are they going to keep it all year? Have you seen the floor how they have painted the NBA arena floors. And I just thought it was a one-off. I was watching one game and I went, oh, that looks very cool. But then as I went from game to game to game, like last week, I'm like, wow, every floor has been really just crazy painted like a Christmas package.
Now, what it is, and I think it happens like, it's not every game, but there are certain days of the season where they're doing what they call they're
doing a tournament,
mid-season tournament.
Right. They're doing
And so these games count as win and losses for the season, but then they're also kind of setting up this going to be 4 teams that will play in Vegas towards the middle of the year.
Right.
And I don't understand it completely, but whoever wins that gets some kind of special treatment.
Right.
I don't know if it's a bye or whatever, but they will also be in the tournament, the championship at the end of the year. So when they do those, when you see those floors,
okay,
those are those special in-season tournament games.
I didn't know that. Okay, so you're saying if I put on a regular game now, it'll go back to whatever it was. Okay, I understand. I think what happened, and I don't know this, but I'm thinking that somewhere in the NBA offices in, Midtown Manhattan, New York, somebody said, boy, this NCAA Final Four thing, that March Madness thing is huge. It's huge. How can we suck up some of that energy? How can we, and so I think, this is the first time it's been done, so I have no idea if it's going to, I got to do a little more research on that. Like you said, I know that they get some perk. It used to be, do they still do that in baseball where the winner of the All-Star game, the league that wins the All-Star game gets home field advantage in the World Series or something like that? I don't know if they still do that or not. I
haven't watched baseball in so long.
Oh, come on.
I could not answer that question and be right.
You didn't.
I know, you said, it used to be that way.
Yeah, you didn't even watch the World Series.
I did not see, usually when the World Series plays, even if I'm not into the World Series, I'll see at least 5, 10, 15 minutes of the World Series.
Yes.
I did not see I didn't see 1 second.
Wow.
Of the World Series at all.
Wow.
Just not into baseball anymore.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get free shipping with your new Bartesian when you go to bartesian.com/cocktail. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for weddings, holidays, birthdays, or for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. And right now, get free shipping with your Bartesian purchase at bartesian.com/cocktail. Go to bartesian.com/cocktail and your home cocktail maker ships for free. That's bartesian.com/cocktail.
They tried to bring us all back this year. They tried with that pitch clock to, so the games didn't just drag on forever. And honestly, I think it helped. Because I think the game, I did watch a few games here and there and watched a lot of the series. And I think it was better. I think it helped. Now, will it bring back fans in droves? I don't know, but I have heard, and again, I'm not a reporter anymore, so I don't have my finger on the pulse anymore, but I heard that attendance was up and, ratings were up and stuff like that. So that, okay, good for you. Good for baseball, because it's still a thing. And when summer comes around and there's nothing else going on, you got to have something to watch. So for us sports fans. So anyway, we'll have to table that and see if it makes a difference come the new season. So there you go.
Well, that's like NASCAR. A few years ago they started this.
Oh, NASCAR. Yeah, well, I can report to you I have not watched 1 second of NASCAR.
I am not a fan of this at all. It has made the sport more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have like 3 stages in the races. And if you win a stage, like, they race like a third of kind of like a little bit less than a third of the race,
Okay.
they have like 3 different breaks
Really?
where if you are one of the top 10 people, you get points. That's
Do they
kind of
actually
how you.
do they actually stop the race and like take a break or something? Or
Yeah, the yellow flag, unless they're doing a road course. They're not. If they're doing a oval, the
right?
yellow flag comes out. They can all pit if they want to, or not pit if they want to.
Oh,
But the top 10 places, like first place in the stage, will get 10 points.
oh,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
sure.
10th place will get 1 extra point in the season. So that has kind of increased the season as far as excitement, and the
Right.
races, because you almost have like a finish, because people want those stage points, because at the end of the season you can be out of the playoffs by maybe 3 or 4 points. So the stage points are important.
Okay.
So it has made the race more exciting, besides just the ending. But I still, no matter what they say, I do not like the win and you're in. I don't like that. I mean, any Tom, Dick, and Harry who is in enough NASCAR races can be the worst driver. I mean, not that that's happened, but it can be the worst driver that races in NASCAR. And if they race every race and they win one,
Right.
they're pretty much going to be in the playoffs, which I think that sucks.
So what we're saying is that plenty of sports, NBA, baseball, even NASCAR, trying to make it a little more exciting for the fans, give them a reason to watch or actually buy a ticket or something like that. Okay, cool. I get it. What could the NFL do? So here's today's question, and I'm going to put you on the spot, and if we don't have an answer, that's okay. What could the NFL do to make it more exciting? Hard to say. I think you got to cut down on the huge length of time it takes to review a play. I think there needs to be like a pitch clock on the review. You get 30 seconds. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Maybe what they should do is give the refs a championship at the end of the year. Whoever blunders the least amount of calls.
Well, they do. They do. The refs, like in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, those are guys that have and I guess it's a rating system or something like that. I don't even know that. I don't know that at all. So, but I know that the referees that are in, I shouldn't say guys, there are some female referees now, that are in the playoffs and Super Bowl are like allegedly the cream of the crop, but I don't know how they decide that. So there you go.
Yeah, I saw 2 games yesterday, and the wife was having to be watching with me. And she goes, "Is that a girl?" And I go, Yep. They have them now.
Yep.
And I saw two different games yesterday where there was, female officials.
And they're this. I noticed they're not putting the female referees, and maybe they just need to train them or something better or whatever, that the female referees are the side judges. They're not on the field with the players. And maybe they're doing that so that if they get run down or something like that, it might, not that a guy referee wouldn't get damaged or whatever, but I don't know, maybe. And I know, just to put a bow on that, just to finish that, the NBA has female referees too. So
yes,
very cool. Very cool.
Now,
yeah.
I've noticed also, and like I said, I noticed it just yesterday, really, when I noticed it.
Right.
It seemed like both of because it was 2 different games. I saw 2 different, female officials. They both were cute little blondes with, like a little ponytail coming out. And I go, hey, what are they trying to do? Like mess these players up, not being able to concentrate?
I hadn't thought of that. I haven't seen a blonde NFL referee. I have seen dark hair, but yeah, they all have the big ponytail out the back of the cap, so it doesn't get in the way. You have to. So, but good for them. That's fine. That's all good.
What's funny, and I don't know which game it was yesterday, but one of the officials was actually arguing with one of the females, and he should have known. There's no way he's going to win that with a female. What's he thinking? Why is he trying to argue with
on the sidelines?
Is arguing with a woman? No, he is not. So why does he think he's going to win this one?
And now he's got to go home to the wife or the girlfriend and say, were you arguing with that lady on a
and she's going, yes, and I saw the way you treated her. So you just stay over there, and I don't even know if I'm going to make you supper or not tonight.
Well, we're opening even bigger and bigger cans of worms. So that's awesome. But yes, I'm all for it. I think it's great. I mean, and I even, as I watch one of the ESPN crews who covers the NBA, Doris Burke is part of the regular thing now, lady announcer. I mean, they've had ladies doing ladies games all the time, of course, makes sense. But now they have Doris Burke doing the men's games as well, all right, great. Look at this. BJ and Bill, we're all about the equality here on the program today. We're all about inclusivity. Yay.
Now, I will tell you this.
Uh-oh.
That it was one game last year. I don't know which one it was, but one of the NBA games, and they made a big deal out of it because it was the first ever. Every announcer announcing the game, of course, Shaq was still there, and
right.
Or it might have been an ESPN. I don't know which way it went, but
right.
The regular. But the actual announcers, the play-by-play, and the color people, and the people that are down on the floor asking, the question of the coaches between the quarters. Every announcer announcing that game were females.
Very cool. And I do remember that. I do remember. Was that a pro game? Was that an NBA game?
Yeah, it was an NBA game. And every announcer was female.
Look at this. We've talked about sports for a half an hour now. So apologies, folks, if you've come for the regular BJ and Bill show and gotten, gotten undisputed instead. But one last thing, and that was when Florida, because I watched the Gators Saturday night at LSU. Who went to LSU? Shaq. Okay, of course, our man Shaq, my hero. Love the guy. I mean, we all love him here at the podcast playground. The female announcer is talking about how the night before Shaq was at a club spinning some records, because we all know he's a big music, big DJ fan, big whatever. So, and she's talking to him about that, and she says, I was in the house with you last night for the party. It went great, blah, 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 blah. And he's smiling and saying yes. And then she asks the dumbest question ever, period. She says with a straight face, oh, you ever think about having a DJ name? And he's only been DJ Diesel for what, 15 years? And I am sure that when he was announced, quote unquote, in the house last night, it was not Shaq. I am sure it was. I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, it's DJ Diesel, and there's a reason for that.
He's always DJ Diesel. And he looks down at her and he goes, just Diesel. And she says, what? And he goes, Diesel. And he turns and walks away. And I'm like, oh my God, girl. I almost got on Twitter. I almost got on social media and said, I have just witnessed the dumbest reporter question ever. Because that would be like going to, and, don't quote me on your politics or whatever. I don't care, but just go with the joke. That would be like going up to this guy on the beach and, oh, what's your name? Barack Obama. Oh, well, Mr. Obama, that's very nice to meet you. You ever done anything big in life? That's the kind of question she asked. Oh, I was tearing out my newly cut hair oh my God. Okay. So rant over. I'm better now. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest. So,
I know we said we were leaving the world of sports, but I have a bulletin that just came in.
This just in.
It's a sports bulletin that just came in. I hope I say it right. Fubo, or how do you pronounce that TV service?
Fubo. Yeah. Fubo. Yeah.
Fubo and Amazon Freevee. That must be something new they're doing. Amazon Freevee.
That's another channel, by the way, I think, because I think I have that on my Roku TV.
They both added new channels.
Okay.
Dedicated to, yes, Bill Stevens, dedicated to professional pickleball.
Ooh. Applause. Professional pickleball. I was going to go play yesterday. The weather in Gainesville was a little shaky, definitely shaky this morning. I played pickleball last Sunday, And then I got home Sunday night. I was a little stiff, a little sore. I got up on Monday. I was a little stiff, a little sore all through the day. I went to my apartment gym on Monday, and I thought, oh, my shoulders are a little stiff. I'll find an exercise machine to work my shoulders. And I totally overdid it. For the rest of the week last week, I was so sore and so stiff. I'm like, Bill, you're not 25 anymore. Come on, baby. Take it easy on yourself. So, yeah, I didn't play pickleball yesterday because I thought, well, it's literally been a week and I'm just now feeling like I can move again properly. So can't wait, though, for some pickleball on TV. It's good. It's interesting on TV. It's not like basketball or football. I mean, it's, that's big and flashy and loud and all that. But if you watch tennis on television, you can watch pickleball. They're close enough and interesting enough, that it would, if you like one, you'll like the other, I guess. So can't wait to see it. I'll definitely be checking it out. So there you go. I'd rather be playing than watching, but yes.
Yeah, you'll be checking it out.
I will. Absolutely.
I'll stay with the Hallmark Channel. Thank you very much.
and it's now November, so the Hallmark Channel is going to be up and full blast in the Odom household very soon.
Oh,
here, right?
They started in October.
Of course they did.
You can get a brand new, I don't want to give them a plug, but I'm going to. You can get a brand new Hallmark Christmas music
movie
every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's right, girls, ladies. 4 Hallmark new Christmas movies every week.
So 4 times 4, 12 a month, 2 months till December. There's 24, 25 new. So somewhere along the lines, somebody in Hallmark Studios had to come up with, well, no, that's a lie, because we all know every Hallmark movie is exactly the same, just with different people of different colors and different races and different backgrounds and all of that. So it's the same plot. It's the same exact plot, right?
Bill.
Yes.
Bill.
Uh-oh.
I sat there this weekend.
Uh-oh.
And I looked at my wife and I said, oh my God, what are they doing? They're getting away from the normal Hallmark movie plot line, period. There's been 2 of these Christmas movies that are just not Hallmark as you know them. Boy Meets Girl, or Goes Home, and Old Boyfriend, Good Time. Then they have a big disastrous thing. And this is why we can't be together. All that. And then at the end of the movie. There's been 2 or 3 of the new movies for Christmas that the plot is different. And it was refreshing.
Really? I mean,
yes.
And when you say different, because what you just said, it's Boy Meets Girl, boy and girl get separated, boy and girl have their own, disastrous lead up to the holidays. Christmas time comes and magically they are thrown back together again and happily ever after. So you're saying that this did not happen. What's that?
Don't forget, if it's a Christmas movie, it's snowing while they kiss at the end.
Of course it is. And it could be downtown Phoenix. There's still snow coming down somewhere because and the Kirsten music is playing. So you're saying that we did not have that. So care to elaborate? I mean, what happened? Or if maybe we don't want to give it away, right?
I think they need to watch the movies and find out. But one is really about, and they're not dating. They don't fall in love at the end, but it's 2 best friends who are girls that are going through life. And they actually, though, the girl, I mean, they're not lovers, but they have a fight towards the end of the movie. And they do make up and say, best friends forever. They don't kiss. There's no snow. In fact, one of the other girls is kissing someone at the end of the movie. But the main movie is about 2 girls who are best friends, not lovers.
I'm impressed. I mean, I guess I'm impressed. I don't know. I'm still not going to go watch any Hallmark Channel movies. So at least not that I am aware of. If the lady friend decides she needs to watch one, maybe we will. But she's been out of town for a couple of weeks. And so there you go. So anyway, I hope it's Monday and it's lawnmower day, so I hope the folks at home are not hearing lawnmowers in the background, but I'll try and mute myself when I can. Look at that. We've been blathering along about sports and Hallmark for 33 minutes now.
And you know what? When we come back, we're going to get away from that.
Yes, we are.
Because I have music news mixed with more music news that is turning into a little joke here I have about music news.
We look forward to hearing it. Go refill your coffee or do whatever it is you do. If you're doing it while you drive, make sure you pull over to the side before you do any of that stuff. But we will be right back.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get free shipping with your new Bartesian when you go to bartesian.com/cocktail. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for weddings, holidays, birthdays, or for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. And right now, get free shipping with your Bartesian purchase at bartesian.com/cocktail. Go to bartesian.com/cocktail and your home cocktail maker ships for free. That's bartesian.com/cocktail.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom over there. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast, and we just love it when you stop by the Facebook page to leave the, comments and jokes and whatever, because, we're getting some good engagement over there. If you're on Facebook, just do a search, BJ and Bill Podcast. You can email us at the same address, bjandbillpodcast@gmail.com. And, of course, the most important thing would be if you would be so kind as to head over to wherever you pick up your podcasts, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, and leave this program a glowing 5-star review to tell people how much you enjoy listening to two old men ranting about almost nothing on a weekly basis. It's awesome. We appreciate it. We love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, there's been a few times on this particular program we have talked about AI.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence.
Taking over the world. And we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. What's that?
That was kind of a thing that the actors' strike was all about and concerned with and talking about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which now that has finally been settled. Thank goodness. We'll get to see some new stuff on TV.
But AI.
That's probably helped sports.
Probably.
But speaking of AI, I don't know if you've heard this news yet or not. I have not heard the song, but AI has put together, and there is now released, a new Beatles song.
I have heard of it. I haven't heard it. And I thought I heard that it was a song that John Lennon had started recording and that the rest of the band now has finished. But I haven't heard the AI connection. So talk more about that.
Yeah, all I know is that it's a new song,
right?
And it's been produced using AI.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that out. And I had heard, like what you said, I heard all of that, but I didn't know what part AI played in all of it, so I don't know that.
I guess I should have done some more research on that.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. AI, for those who haven't played with it, it's free. I mean, it's, there are paid versions and free versions, just like every other app in the world, but you can just go to OpenAI. I think it's openai.chatgpt.something. Anyway, just Google it and look it up. But it's amazing. If you're somebody who needs to produce some sort of written information, script, email, letter, a report. I mean, if I'm a high school kid right now, I'm never writing another book report in my life. I'm like, hey, Chat GPT, summarize, To Kill a Mockingbird in 2,000 words and, make it funny, make it sound like me, make it sound blah, 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 bam. And it just spits it out. And it is unbelievable. Now, it's not infallible. Some people say that if you're using it to like actually create information for like a website or something like that, you can do it, but you need to be careful because sometimes it like humans, sometimes AI just makes stuff up. Sometimes it just
and
makes
I guess
up.
too, they say the thing you got to look out for because it goes and finds different things.
Right.
What do they call that when you copy somebody's work? And what is that
Plagiarism.
called? Yeah,
Plagiarism. Right.
You got to worry about that if you use it. Now, I will tell you this: if you follow BJ and Bill on Facebook, BJ and Bill podcast, and you see our little like commercials or our little videos, snippets of our podcast, and they'll put a little video together that we put out on social media and, try to bring some new, listeners to the podcast.
Right.
A lot of those are done with AI, by the way.
Right. It's still BJ and Bill doing the talking, but it's put together. The videos are edited and assembled and all of that and there are tools out there that do an amazing job on that. The trouble is the concern is that in a year, it'll be so good, you won't be able to tell it from reality. I mean, right now you can watch some of the funny stuff that's online on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, some of these funny videos where they'll take somebody famous saying something totally outrageous. And you kind of go, oh, okay, I get it. You can kind of see that it's not right or that the sound is off a little bit. In a year, it's going to be so good, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And that's when it gets dangerous. Because now what if you had Donald Trump saying, you're right, I tried to rig the election. I totally did it. Absolutely, positively. What if you had Joe Biden saying, you're right, I absolutely wrecked the economy on purpose so all my friends could get rich. I get it. I mean, see how I played both sides there just in case. I get it. So,
but it is scary.
It is. At what point is it, is it live or is it Memorex for those of you who are that old? But it's going to be like that. And this is where guys like Elon Musk and others have said, whoa, wait a minute, guys, you're opening up Pandora's box here and you can't put it back in the box once it's out. So maybe we need to do some thinking. And of course, nobody is. They're just like, oh, look, it's something to play with, something shiny and new, and we can make money with it and all that. And now it's going to be like, okay, I see a lot of guys, a lot of the financial and political people that I follow on YouTube, just, to hear their opinions and stuff. They're already to the point where it's like, I don't believe anything I hear. I don't trust anybody I hear online. None of it. If they're not sitting in the room with me or sitting at Starbucks over a cup of coffee and say something, I believe none of it. And I think it's kind of coming to that. I don't know how we're going to figure that out. I don't know. I'll
tell you one thing that I have a problem with AI, but thank goodness the powers to be fixed it. One of our little videos that we had done.
Yes.
We were talking about the Taylor Swift time when I went backstage and I took my daughter.
Right.
Well, because it goes out and I don't know how it does it, but it finds pictures of BJ and Bill out on the internet.
Really?
It just finds them.
They're out there somewhere.
Pages. It finds them. So I was talking about my daughter.
Right.
And there is a name we do not speak. It's an ex-husband who's I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be sued by saying what I would say on our podcast.
Right.
But a picture of her and the wedding came up on the, little video.
Right.
So I called and said, is there any way you can edit out the picture of me with my daughter at her son of a bitchin' wedding? Out of the picture?
Right.
And luckily they were able to do that.
Good. That's where we're at today. This is This is the definition, and I'm going to use some not big words, but a big phrase. This is the definition of the law of unintended consequences. It's like, oh, this is cool. We can play with it. We can have it do things. We can have it whatever. And then it comes along with something that it's like, oh, I didn't want that. But it's AI. It is literally artificial intelligence. It's not a person. It doesn't think. I was listening to a podcast last week, and somebody described AI as the world's best autocomplete. Like when you're typing on your iPhone and you type the start of a word and it finishes the word for you and all you have to do is tap it. Well, AI basically will autocomplete a novel. Give it a sentence and it'll write the rest of the novel, or whatever, the rest of the movie script or the whatever. And that's kind of where it's at right now. It's not great. It's really, really good. And it's really amazing to us poor old humans. But pretty soon it's going to be so good that it's like, who knows? Who knows where it's going to go next? I don't know that. Now, I will say, just to have a little fun with it, I will say, and I'm holding up my iPhone here, that Miss Siri has finally, now she's going to say it. All right, don't say it. That if I just say the word Siri, I'm going to wait a minute. I'm going to turn her off. If I just say the word Siri, she'll now go, like she's listening to me, which it didn't do before. I think that's kind of cute. And then when she gives me an answer to something, I'm in a habit. And maybe that's because I'm old. Somebody gives me the answer to something. I say, thank you. And she'll go, no problem. And I'll go, that's so cool.
I don't see the A girl doesn't do that.
I don't think she does. No.
Because I've told her thank you and she won't say nothing at all.
Now, I did ask her a question the other day that required a little bit of thinking. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. But she gave me the answer. And then she followed up and said, did that answer your question? Or was that good information or something? And I said, yes. And she said, thanks for your feedback. So that's just us poor humans training the AI. That's all we're doing, is we are training the AI to what we want and what we expect. And this is the right answer. This is not the right answer. This is a good answer. This is a bad. So we're digging our own grave. We're just digging our own grave.
I think they are working with that young lady, as much as they can, because I don't seem that we argue as much as we used to. We're getting along better.
She's just tired of arguing with you, BJ.
I haven't called her words that I've called her in the past. Lately.
I see. And what kinds of things might you argue about with an artificial intelligence?
I don't know. I can't even remember. But there's been times that we really, and my wife sits there and just like rolls her eyes and goes, why are you arguing with her? And I go, it's fun.
It's fun for you. The machine is just going, oh God, here he goes again. I get it. We're at the fun stage now. We're at the party where everybody's had a couple of drinks and it's fun. We're not at the party where it's 2 a.m. and everybody is totally plastered and making fools of themselves. We're getting there, though.
Things are going on.
We're getting there really fast. And with AI, it's not a matter of years. It's a matter of weeks and months. That's how fast things are compressing into the learning stage here. So I don't know.
Well, in the first half of the show, I talked about how, comedy can go awry by you can get out of order.
Yes.
So now I must go back to where the conversation started so I can get in my joke. The conversation started. The Beatles have a new song.
Yes.
Helped by AI.
Yes.
The Beatles. And so a lot of the younger generation does not know who the Beatles are.
I'm afraid you are correct.
So explaining the Beatles to a young person, just tell them to imagine 4 Taylor Swifts in one band.
I hadn't thought of that, but that's probably about right. That's probably about right. And they weren't just Taylor Swift, because she's worked for what, 10 years, 15 years to be where she, she's an overnight sensation, 20 years in the making, as they always say. She hasn't been that long, but but when the Beatles stepped off that plane in New York City in 1961, 62, whenever that was, you're right. That was like, hey, everybody, free Taylor Swift concert. Come on down. That was like that moment. But it was bigger than that, because it was like, we've never seen that before. It was new. It was unbelievable. It was people responding to something in a way. They were responding to something that was so new that nobody had seen it before. Now we're like, oh yeah, Taylor Swift. She's going to be at she's going to be at Raymond James Stadium. It'll sell out 100,000 tickets. Great. Whatever. I get it. This was new though. So I get it. Yeah. 4 Taylor Swifts all in one band. I got to remember that. That's good.
Maybe this is a man thing, but this is one thing I still cannot understand. Like the Beatles.
Yes.
And the Beatles weren't the only ones. And Taylor Swift, the same way. You can go to someone who's never seen, the Beatles for the first, they saw the Beatles for the first time. They saw Taylor Swift. And why? If someone can explain this to me, you can send us an email, bjandbillpodcast@gmail.com. When they start crying and screaming and crying, what makes people do that?
I have no idea, but you're right. It goes back to, if you've seen any of the video, boy, we're setting the Wayback Machine way, way back, of like the Ed Sullivan Show and the Beatles on Ed Sullivan or something, screaming and crying. Where does that's maybe we should look that up or get a psychiatrist on or a psychologist or something. You're right. There is that. Is it just that it's just so emotional that everything comes out all at once, that we're just going to dump it all here, all the excitement, all the emotion, all the screaming, all the yelling, all the heart palpitations, and the crying comes with it? I don't know. That's a really good question, BJ. Go and research that for us, or have one of our artificial intelligences do it.
I've seen, people that I've really wanted to see.
Right.
I've met people that are stars that I really wanted to see.
You and I both.
I've never go, oh my God, this is like, oh my God. Right. I've never done that.
Well, right. But with you and I don't want to sound jaded or whatever, but you and I are we're in the business. We were anyway, kind of. So it was kind of our job to meet these people or to talk to them or to have them on the air or to interview them or whatever. But if you're a 16-year-old girl and your bedroom is plastered with Taylor Swift posters and your, music, the only thing you listen to is, Taylor Swift music or whatever, there's some sort of level of excitement there that I don't have. Whatever. Is that because I'm in a job? Is there anybody I could meet? Well, again, like you said, it's probably a girl thing. So, okay, I get that. There's nobody I'm going to meet. Tom Brady knocks at my door with beer and pizza and says, Bill, let's watch the game. I'm like, sweet, come on in. But I'm not crying over it. No.
Like my daughter, I don't know what came up. I think we were talking about, Taylor and, Travis. We're having that conversation about all the girls that were now watching, football and stuff like that. And she goes, it doesn't make me want to watch football. And I go, yeah, but you really like Taylor Swift. She goes, she's okay. I go, well, you went to the concert. Your dad spent $1 million. What do you mean? She's okay. Well, I like her, but I'm not like my friend Claire. She screamed and cried the whole concert.
There you go. And let's ask Claire, what are you feeling? What are you feeling that causes that reaction? What's going on in your head, in your heart, in your brain, in your body? What's going on there and they probably couldn't tell you. They probably couldn't tell you what it was because they were so in the moment. Maybe that's it. You're so in the moment. You're so like, I want this moment to continue forever. It feels so good.
Well, I did ask my granddaughter, well, why didn't you? And she goes, I'm not a drama queen like her.
That's good. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you, granddaughter. Not a drama queen. Because I've known a few. I've had to put up with a few in my life, and it's not fun. So there you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh boy.
So see here, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm just
you
thinking
know, I
about.
will tell you, and this is weird.
Weird. Go ahead.
The most excited, like I got tongue-tied, and I was more excited about a B-list artist than any AAA artist I have ever met.
Tell us more.
So I have, this was years ago. I saw Neil McCoy at a bar when I was working up in the Carolinas, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, at Whistle 100. And we went to a show, and he got up there and sang, songs that I knew and I enjoyed.
Right.
And he told jokes, and he really worked the crowd. But I didn't really get to meet him. And people would say, well, who's your favorite artist? And I said, really, you're not going to believe this, but I think it's Neil McCoy because I've seen him work. And he could do stand-up in any, comedy club and kill, and he can get up there and sing. So I said, really, because of his talents,
right,
Neil McCoy is, one of my favorites.
Very good.
So down the road, I got a chance to meet. And so, we got to go backstage, got to hang out a little bit, got to meet him. And when I first walked up to him, it's like, hey, you're my fan. I really, you're fun.
Really, you had that moment. You did.
I had that moment. I didn't cry. I didn't scream.
No.
But my mouth didn't work. I couldn't make my thoughts come out my brain.
Uh-huh. And was that just because you were so excited to meet him? So
yeah, and I wanted to tell him that I'd seen him in concert, and I do comedy, and I think that he's very funny, and it's just you're like the total entertainer. You are just so impressive to me. That's what I wanted to say, but it came out
a little tongue-tied.
And why? I'd met Garth Brooks. I've met,
right,
all sorts of big country stars.
Right.
Reba McEntire.
Right.
But for some reason, and I hate to say he's a B-lister, but I think he is. He had number one hits, yeah, but he's not like, like a Reba.
Right. He's not Garth Brooks. Right.
Garth Brooks, none of those guys. And I get, hi, Garth. Perfect. Speech was excellent.
Right.
But this time, explain to me.
I think it's the excitement. I think. I'm thinking hard now. I'm searching the memory banks to think if I ever had an experience like that. And I don't think so. I mean, I've met some big people in my time, but me and Charlie Daniels sitting in a radio station studio, just he and I one-on-one, just talking and all of that. I'm sure because I was young and I was inexperienced and I didn't really know all the good stuff to talk to him about, I probably fumbled through it, but it wasn't the excitement of it that got me to that, but yeah, I hear you. That's all right. So folks, let us know. Write us on Gmail or visit our Facebook page and let us know. We'd love to know what gets you so excited you can't think straight. Perfect.
And if it's BJ and Bill, thank you very much in advance.
That's right. Be here all week, folks.
Here's another old radio story. So I'm working a country bar in Fort Myers.
Right.
And I had, and this wasn't like recently, it's been years ago, probably 30 years ago.
Right.
But I first got started in radio on Wink in Fort Myers, WINK, which was back in the day, like the big top 40 rock and roll station. The little teenagers would listen, So I'm at this country bar. I'm probably 40s, mid 40s, maybe. Yeah, probably mid 40s, 40 something.
That wasn't 30 years ago, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
Well, it was pretty much 30 years ago when you think how old I am now.
Anyway.
And then this girl came up to me, a very attractive young lady.
Of course.
Probably in her 20s.
Of course.
Good looking girl, probably in her nice 20s, very legal and everything. Oh, BJ Autumn. Oh, I used to listen to you all the time. And I'm going, yeah, I used to listen to you when I was a teenager on Wink. I loved you back then. She didn't say she loved me now, but she said she
back then. Yeah, thanks, Grandpa.
And I'm like, my ego just went from whoo to oh crap.
Right? It's like you really used to be somebody.
Yeah, that's what it basically was. Yeah. I remember when you were on Wink, I loved you.
And now, well, here you are sitting in a country bar, having a beer like everybody else.
Your little girlfriends that like country music drug you to this country show, and so this is the excited you got. You saw your old favorite DJ back when you were like 12 or 13 years old. Listen to Wink FM. Okay, I understand. Next, anybody else want to come on?
That's a song. It was a big song just a few years ago. You're just somebody that I used to love. Used to love, right? That's it. I get it.
I think I heard my wife singing that song the other day.
It's a great song. I don't know who did it, but it's a great song. Awesome.
I'm trying to think. Somebody wrote something on Facebook, and I can't. Gosh, I wish I could remember what it was now. But it was something that was like something weird, like somebody lost something that was looking for something or whatever. And I said,
right,
I think that's my favorite country song,
because
whatever they posted just sounded like I lost my dog and can't find it nowhere.
Let's face it, if it weren't for dogs and pickup trucks, there'd be no country music. So that's it. That's pretty much it. So awesome.
Don't forget the beer though, and
well,
the tequila.
That kind of goes without saying nowadays, I guess, but yeah, that's for sure. Okay, great. Look at that. We've killed a whole hour talking about sports and artificial intelligence with two artificially intelligent guys, BJ and Bill. That's great. Maybe in the future we'll have AI do us and then just have them do the show. Won't be as funny, I don't think. God, I hope it's not as funny.
It'd be really nice if you could use AI and just put like a little chip in your brain.
Oh, Elon's working on that.
And then you could just you could walk around and be, intelligent as could be, answer questions, instead of being dumb old BJ. I could be rapping up, man.
You could.
And what would you, Bill Stevens?
I get it. And what would you do with that newfound skill? Or it's not really a skill, but what would you do with that function now?
Next time we're doing a podcast and you say, well, what would this be? Or what happens here? I'd go.
And you'd have an answer.
Well, Bill, let me tell you, I have the answer for you. No more Bill going, let me Google that. No, I have the answer for you.
I already know. Yeah. There's actually, and it's been a few years, but there was actually a Brad Pitt movie, the guy that was with Lady Gaga, whatever, Brad, I forget his name. Anyway, called Limitless, about a drug that you take that makes you basically a supercomputer. And it was a good movie. It was a little odd. Of course, they always have to make it a little bit violent and all that stuff to make it, sell more, but whatever. Bradley Cooper. I'm sorry. There you go. I apologize, Mr. Cooper. Bradley Cooper was in Limitless, and you can probably find it on Netflix. It's worth a watch. It's a good one. Yeah. Until that time, you're stuck with BJ and Bill in human form. Sorry.
It's kind of like what my wife, every once in a while, we'll meet someone new and somehow it gets out that, well, I've had a heart transplant and a kidney transplant. Then my wife wants to be a comedian. She goes, yeah, we're still trying to find that brain transplant for him.
Good luck with that. When you find it, let me know. We all want to know. All right. Folks, keep searching for that heart or brain, or it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? One has a heart, one has a brain, one has courage, one has, and then there's Dorothy. Whatever. Okay.
You know what, though? Basically, let me tell you, I'm even like the Tin Man now. If I don't have oil in my joints, it's like, oh.
Totally get it. Totally. Yeah. Got to keep the joints well oiled. Ooh, boy. I don't want to, don't talk. Yeah. That's another time for another show. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week. We appreciate it. Boy, the hour just flew by. It was great. I appreciate you being here. I know Mr. Odom does well. Have yourself a great week. And until then, it's just up to BJ to say,
see ya!
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.